How's everybody doing out there today? This is another update on the Durango slash Biscayne here. We got some parts that come in, and I already installed one, but we had our new Idler Pulley come in. Get that off here. So we got our new Idler Pulley here. That's for our Durango, so that came in. And went ahead and already installed that. And really the old one really wasn't worn at all, honestly. But I went on and replaced everything else on the front of this motor's been replaced. Why not? So we got a new Idler Pulley on here. Like smooth as butter, buddy. That one was pretty smooth too. I just replaced it because it had a lot of surface rust and where the belt rides and all, but really, I mean, you could have took sandpaper and just sand it off, but I went on and replaced it. Why not? It was only 20 bucks, so got that replaced. So we got a new tensioner on here. It's a brand new tensioner. We got an alternator that was replaced before the accident. There's nothing wrong with that. It didn't hurt any of that stuff. Got a new Idler Pulley, of course. Just replaced our power steering pump. We reused our reservoir there and our pulley, of course, but I should have maybe replaced the pulley, but really ain't nothing wrong with it, truthfully. I mean, of course, we got our newer, because that was done last fall there. We got a newer balancer on there, and had to replace that because the rubber looked like it was kind of starting to separate a little bit. And when I pulled it off, I was thinking about the groove, because they do get a groove where that seal is back in there. It'll wear a groove on them. But it really didn't have that bad of a groove, honestly. You can actually sleeve them. But I just went on and replaced it. And debating about this water pump, I might go on and replace it. But I really can't see the pulley, you know, riding funny or anything. It looks pretty normal. But I think I might eventually replace this heater hose fitting here. They just pressed down in here. I can't believe they never threaded them. Some of them were threaded and some of them weren't. This one just pressed down in there, and I just don't like it design. But I probably will replace this because this is a little rough here, a little scaly. Did paint it, but now it don't look like it. But we'll probably replace that. But anyway, so that's our Idler Pulley for this, and give a little update on our Biscayne here. We got something to show, but it's going to be kind of a little bit short of a video here. So I like making longer videos when I can, but they just take forever to get uploaded. The last video uploaded the other day, it took almost 3 days to get it on there, so apologize for that. So if I keep it down under 10 minutes for now, we're going to make longer videos, so we're going to make them as long as I want, but short ones like this, try and keep it under 10 minutes at least. That way it'll kind of upload the same day if I can. But alright, so here's our nice original radio delete plate. This is for our Biscayne here. It's really nice. It's from a, looks like it says a 60 Chevy radio delete plate. Looks like it might have been in a swap meet one time. Someone's got 20 bucks on there. That's certainly not what I paid for it. I paid, I think it was like 40, something like that. 40, 50. These radio delete plates are kind of like gold. I don't understand why. Look one up for 66 or 67 Chevelle, folks. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, so we got our radio delete plate. It's just something honestly I just bought for fun. And just verify that it fits. The dashes are the same between a 59 and a 60. The outside of the car is completely different, so don't let everybody tell you that the doors and all that will interchange. Sure, they're bolt on, but the outside of the car is completely different. But here's our radio. This is where our radio would mount here. And we're going to try our plate out here. We're just sitting on here. Let's see if I can hold it on there. It fits just perfect. It's just beautiful. Nice and flush and everything. Now that side, it will come in more. But that thing fits just beautiful. So we got our radio delete plate for it. There we go. That's a little better. So there's our radio delete plate. We got that from our 60 Chevy. So that's nice. Debating about getting this piece of trim. It says Chevrolet right here, so I'm debating on that. I might get that. And we do have our ashtray for it. So we got our glove box, we have our radio delete plate, and we have our ashtray assembly. We got all that. Now we don't have our heater control knobs that go right here, so we'll have to get that. I have everything for the steering column except for the horn ring. So the steering column, obviously you had to look back in the videos, but that is 100% complete. So other than the horn ring, but that wire harness that's hanging down there is almost perfect. I mean, it's very nice for being original and being outside. We're going to take our time and try and take that thing apart without messing anything up, and we're going to reuse a lot of it. We'll probably clean it up and just reuse it. But so we got our radio delete plate, so I got to find our Chevrolet piece there and get our heater control assembly there. This is a non-AC car, so that makes this car better. But like I said, we're not too really concerned about the interior yet. Now we're on this section on the front here. We're right around the windshield. So we got the next thing I'm gonna probably try and get. I did go on and order the cowl for it that goes right in here. So I got that on the way. I found a nice original. Wasn't too awful expensive. And they are slightly different between the 59 El Camino and a regular, you know, Impala, Bel Air, Biscayne. They are slightly different. They will interchange, but I have to kind of show you the difference. I do have the original that goes to this car, but it's all mangled up. Looks like a tractor or something run over it. Wouldn't surprise me. But I do have that on the way. And like I mentioned before, our wiper arms are freed up. I took PB Blaster and freed them up. And I still got to look into that and see. We have all the arms there, but to make sure we're not missing anything at all. But our arms are there. But I got to see what's what with that. But anyway, this is just a little update here. And like I said, we're on this section here around our windshield. We're not worried about our windshield yet. Not worried about that. But we got to get this trim that goes all the way around the windshield. That's the next thing to get for the car. And then once we get that done, then I think we're going to come back to the windshield. I'm not quite ready to buy that yet. So we'll come back to that. But I do want to get the trim, however. I do have the piece that goes on this side. Over here, we do have that, and it's in perfect shape. So that part's good. So now we just got to find our trim. And I think I might have some of the trim. I have to figure out what sections we need. Obviously, we need this piece because it's mangled up there. It might possibly could be straightened, but this piece over here, I tell you, these are like gold too, buddy. I looked these pieces up here, this trim that goes around this front of this vent glass here. I mean, they're like almost $100 a pop. So that's kind of crazy, but we might be able to straighten that a little bit. It's a little bit tweaked, but not too horrible. So, but yep, that's our next step now. So we got to find our trim around our windshield, and I think we'll move on to finally getting this section here straightened out. So we'll get our trim yet, and then we'll move to this and get our valves, our radiator support, and figure out something about our headlight buckets on each side. They're rotted to pieces, so we got to figure out something about that. And then I'll have to get the Chevrolet script and the V from what I was heard and watching videos on YouTube, if it had the V here, it had a 283. And if it had the flags above it like that, it had a 348. And if it just had, I think the Chevrolet, it was just a 6-cylinder car. Or if it was bare, if it was a 6-cylinder car. Don't know 100% sure. So that hood, I'm not sure. I thought it was originally to this car, but I don't think it was. Because that's too nice. Those holes are drilled too nice and too professional. So this is off of a... This might actually be off an original 348 car. I don't know. This might be off a actual Impala. So I don't know. But so we're going to get the Chevrolet script and the V and put back on there. I'm not worried about the flags. But because this is not a 348. But anyway, got a trim, and then the fun part begins. And that's getting the radiator support, getting this lower valance here. Then we got another valance underneath the bumper that's eat up completely to pieces, rotted away. And then our valance, technically got 3 of them. We got one that bolts up here to this fender here, and then it bolts up to the other side that goes underneath the bumper there. It tucks up underneath there. That one's almost perfect. But debate about taking this front clip off here. And you know, just taking our time and separating everything, getting everything apart, so we can really see what's what with it. And then plus that'll give me a chance too to get in here and fix this steering and stuff, because I want to get on this car and get this get these steering components replaced here, get new ball joints in it, new bushings, and get it where you can actually steer the car again. And my goal, hopefully by Christmas, as you can see, I done turned the camera over here, is I want to get this door. I want to get the complete driver's side door by Christmas. That's my goal. And because that would make this car just about complete, just about. But I want to get the door by Christmas for it. And this stuff right in here I'm not too worried about, but just trying to get it, you know, work one a section at a time. That's the best way to do it. Because when I first got it, you know, we did a walk around and made a list of everything on camera that we're missing here, and it just makes it that much easier. But this section, you know, all the sections are done. This section's done. It's 100% complete. And we come back to the back of the car here. That's the seat. Spent 3 hours on almost. That seat still is freed up. But we come to the back. This section is 100% complete. We got our taillight to replace that. And this is just making the car complete. This is not making it, you know, a show car or anything. Because if that was the case, then, you know, I'd have to replace this trim here, or this bezel. Then I have to replace this too, because it's got dents all in it. But we're not worried about that. We just want to make the car complete. You know, I ain't rich. I can't afford to, you know, pay and do a bunch of stuff to it. But you can tell where I polished that bumper out there. Then we look at our other side. I ain't done that yet. Top of her bumper. But anyway, this section's done too. All the trims there around the window. Don't look like it's got a bunch of leaves there, but it is 100% complete. Now, you know, things we might come back for. We might try and find a better deck lid later on. We might reuse it and just fix it. Because stuff for this car is really kind of hard to find. And if you find it, people want an arm and a leg for it. And I just think it's crazy. It's not really worth it, but whatever. But then we come to this section here. This section's done too. The passenger side's 100% complete. Now, I'm not counting the wheels yet. We got to find the wheels. So technically, if you want to get technical about it, I want to find a nice original set of wheels like that came with the car that I still have, and to make it more complete. Now the antenna on this side, we're going to actually shave this off, and we're going to move it to the back of the quarter back here, and it'll be angled back. So that we're not worried about. We're going to change that a little bit. Might put dual antennas on the back. I don't know. That's something that can do later on. But so basically, like I just showed you, just a little quick overview here. You know, that makes it 100% complete all the way around, except for that door. and then just concentrating on this very front here. So that makes it, you know, a lot easier that way. And, you know, we're making it complete. We're not worried about making it a show car. I don't have that kind of money. I'm a poor boy, so, you know, I can't afford that. We just want to make it complete. But anyway, now once we get in the next step and we get the car 100% complete on the outside, get everything we need that it's going to take to make it complete. You know, that's counting the radiator support and all this too. Even though it's there, you know, it's this valve center here is just pretty much unusable and savable. It's just rotted to the point where it's beyond, you know, saving. And of course, you watch Cold War motors, you know, it's not really the case with them, but I'm gonna have to find another valve that's for it. I have found one, but I haven't bought it yet, so kind of waiting on that. And we're still working on our Durango. I still got the steering box. I got that on here. That's done. I got to get a little bit longer bolt where the steering shaft bolts to the shaft on the front of the steering box there. I got to get a little bit longer bolt there. It's a little bit short because it won't quite crimp it down enough, and then it's kind of loose here. So anyway, I got to get a little bit longer bolt. The original that went in there, the threads are a little screwed up. So anyway, but still, it's going to make this a 10-minute video. Here we are at the 16-minute mark. That's okay. But that's what I want to do. And like I said, you know, once we get the car 100% complete on the outside, just on the outside, you know, we're not worried about the inside right now. Then that's when we'll start, you know, then I'll probably start and get floor pans for it. And, you know, that's when we'll actually start fixing it. But that's when we'll get the floors, and then we'll probably move on to the interior, and, you know, we'll finish up our dash, get the rest of our gauges that we need, and just whatever we need. Really, it's just get those gauges, and, I mean, interior-wise, it's pretty much complete. Yep, because we got our trim. Our trim, I don't believe it had any other trim that ran over. It might have. Might have been a piece of trim because we got the two corners there on each side. I'm not sure if it had trim that went on the top of that, inside of that glass or not. Something like, you know, trim like right here, because we got it right here. I'm not sure if it had a piece there, it went there or not. I have to look that up, but we are missing the trim for that goes on the bottom right here, and then we're missing one for over here. I think we got this side here. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we're missing the two pieces that go up here. I don't know. I see we do have it on the top, thank God. So that's good. I want to try and save that mirror if I can. Well, maybe not the mirror, but at least the hanger there. So that's original. It might clean up, but yeah, that's, you know, once we get the outside of the car 100% complete, we'll move on and we'll buy our floor pans for it, and we'll probably just buy one piece for it eventually. This will be much later. This might be a next summer thing, and we'll get our gauges and finish up our trim around our dash. And all honestly, I mean, the car, as long as we get our good complete door that's got all the hardware and everything, you know, it'll be pretty much 100% complete car. This car, when I bought it, I'd say was about a 80% complete. It looked like it was missing a lot more than what it was, but I got lucky, and most of the stuff, like for the 3-speed, for the 3 on the tree, all the shift linkage for all that, got lucky on that. Most of the stuff was just buried under all the leaves on top of the seat, because I had set a lot of that stuff I had found in this car, you know, back in 2016 when I tried to buy it the first go around, and I actually found a lot of it and set on the seat, and I'm glad I did because it's still sitting there. But yeah, that's where we're at here, and working on our Durango. It's getting more and more complete, and I mentioned before, our brakes are completely bled. That's been done. And Still got to get the drums and the shoes for the back. I do want to get them ordered, but they got plenty of material on them right now, so we're not quite worried about that right now. You know, like I said, we got to get this thing on the road. But next thing I got to get ordered is the radiator. So I got to get that ordered yet for it. And then I ordered the tool to press our freeze plugs in. It's supposed to have a little bit of an angle to it, so hopefully we can get up in there and get them 2 freeze plugs, get them bad boys pressed back in, and get a radiator ordered for it, and hopefully we'll be able to fill that water and fire it up for the first time since April, and just make sure it don't run hot or anything, you know, like that, and hopefully be able to take it down the road. I'm hoping, but we shall see. I got to dig out the tool to get these 2 lines out here. They're pressed into these transmission lines, and you got to figure out what's what with that. So that's got to be done yet. But anyway, I think we're going to end this video here. It's just a few little updates, and that's pretty cool. So we're coming along on kind of both of them a little bit. But anyway, y'all take care, and I hope y'all like these videos, and I will see y'all later. Bye.